Hello. Today what we will be doing is going over some basic stuff, some helpful things that you could use when you make traps. But if you know to use redstone and pistons and all that stuff, and basically redstone in general, then you should be fine and you could skip this and go over on to the next episode. But yeah, we're just going to be going over some basic stuff for the beginners out there that don't really know how to use redstone and stuff, or just some basic things about traps. Okay, first thing you want to know is that there are three types of ways to, or actually four types of ways to set off redstone. I recommend you watch a redstone tutorial before actually watching this, because I don't actually go over how redstone works in this tutorial. It's just short and simple. But there are four ways to set off redstone. First way is by using a button right here, and as you see, hold on, I'm just going to turn off the rain. But right here we have the redstone and we have the button. This sets off the redstone for a short amount of time. Okay? Now we also have the lever here that sets off the redstone until I actually flip it again. We have the pressure plate, or the pressure pad, or whatever you want to call it. You step on this and the redstone goes off. Okay, and I'm actually going to turn fog on a little bit so we have this running a little bit easier. Same thing with the wooden thing. The only difference between the wooden pressure plate and the stone pressure plate is that if you put something on the wooden pressure plate, it will go off by, you do that by pressing Q. If you do that with the stone pressure plate, it doesn't do that. And I'm just gonna do that really quick. Okay, next thing you want to know is that there are three types of things. Oh, before we get into that, there's the fourth thing that also sets off redstone is also a redstone torch. And as you can see, if I put down a redstone torch here, it will set it off like that. So we'll just leave it like that. Okay, next thing you want to know is that there are three items affected by gravity. First item is sand, gravel, and the second item is gravel, and then the third item is TNT. Now TNT is only affected by gravity only when it is activated, and to activate TNT, or to set it off, you use redstone. Another thing to know about TNT is that when it explodes, it sends off a shockwave and an explosion. Explosion is the thing that makes the huge dent in the ground and all that stuff. The shockwave is actually what hurts you and harms you, which makes your life go down. If TNT falls into water, though, it only sends out a shockwave and not an explosion, as shown right here. I'm just going to use a lever to set this off. So I'll show you a quick example of this. If I set it off using the redstone, it sends off a shockwave but not an explosion. So my life went down, but it didn't make a huge explosion. I'm just going to set fog on a little bit more so it doesn't lag as much. But another thing are the sand and the gravel. So if I remove the torch, it will fall down like that, because these two are affected by gravity. And if I come over here, you can see that I have another example. These are pistons. There is just a regular piston and a sticky piston. The sticky pistons can hold items and the regular pistons cannot. So if I toggle this switch, you can see this goes up, and if I add the redstone to here, this will go up too, so that. But because this isn't a sticky piston, it won't have the same effect as the sticky piston. So if I added the dirt here, then if I toggle this, both of them go up, but the dirt does not come down. But if I did add the sand, because it is affected by gravity, it would come down. because sand is affected by gravity. So with this, knowing all of this, you can make something like this. Pistons can block off water currents. I'm using a sticky piston right now and using a dirt to block off this water current. There's a torch under here holding up the gravel. So if I set this off, or if I undo this, here the water will come down, put out the torch, and make the gravel fall. As shown right here. So if I had a 2 by 2 area filled with gravel and I used a button to activate this, and it would put out torches, and below me was like 20 squares of air instead of dirt or stone, then I would fall, and then I could add like lava at the bottom to kill myself or whoever sets off the trap. Knowing all of this, you could do things like this, a piston trap, and you can go through this, and then down here, and then from dying, items would be thrown here. So if I were to let's just say I die right here, and I have all the sand. If I come up here, using the water current as a way to transport the items, I can now have the sand be brought right here. And I even have a little viewing area right here to see any pigs or whatever comes down here fall. But I will do a later tutorial on how this trap works right here. But this is just a basic tutorial on just some basic things to know before you start making traps in Minecraft. I hope you like this. I will be posting a real tutorial on actually how to do things next. See ya.